How y'all doing out there in video land? This Stiletto coming at you from the Wild Wild West. Today we got an unboxing. This is the important one, people. This is one I've been waiting for. This is the one I've been waiting for, people. Oh yeah, this is the birthday one. It's come from Midway. This is my birthday buy from Midway. Here we go. Do the unboxing today. What I got in my pocket? Oh yeah, Swift 3, people. CPM M4 4-inch blade. I think it's like a 3.4 millimeter thick blade. Beautiful knife, people. Spear point, drop point. It's got G10 handle scales. Full stainless steel liners. Everything's coated black, all blacked out, all murdered out. This is the Atlas lock. Yes. Oh yeah, this one's beautiful, people. This is the assisted Atlas lock. Love it. Love it. Absolutely love it. You can lock it open. Lock it open with this little slide right here. It goes up into the lock bar. It's like a bar that goes across here that goes up into a groove in the lock bar. And now you can't close it. So it won't fail on you. This knife's not going to fail on you anyway, though, people. And then you go ahead and close it. You can lock it closed too, so it can't come open in your pocket or something. Then you go ahead, unlock it. Back to business. All right, let's get busy with it. Well, we might need it again, huh? Okay. All right. There it is, people. We're going to find out if they fix the issue. That's what this is all about. That's what this is all about for me. All right. Blade, 5.5 inches. Steel, S35EN. CPM, S35EN. Weight, 8.6 ounces. 8.6 ounces. Thickness, 3.8 millimeter. That's pretty cool because they used to call it 4 millimeter. And that's actually like a 3.8. That's right. Handle, 7/3/8 G10. Come from Midway, USA, people. Totally sealed up. It's got the factory seals on it. So this is not a return or anything like that. All right. So let's go ahead and check it out. All right. Extra pocket clip. It's got a lot of oil on it. That looks like a big one. Okay, let's measure it out. I'm going to measure it even before I even open it, because I just want to know, people. The 5.97 thickness millimeter one was the one that was messed up. Let's see if they put it, if they came out with a thicker one now. Zeroed out. .92, so this might be the same size, people. Oh man, I was hoping they'd change that. Yep, 5.93. It's centered out perfectly. Let's see how it functions. Now, last time around, mine was a 5.97. And I still have one like this. It has a 5.97 millimeter front. Oh, I feel a little bit unhappy now, people. I was hoping it was going to be fixed because I was going to polish it out like one of these. But if it's not the right one, I'm going to send it back. I'll send it back, people. Okay, let me see what we got here. Let me show you. It's perfectly centered though. Got a rattle already. It's got a pin rattle. The internal stop pin rattle. Why would that be rattling? Oh no, it's supposed to be this pin. Oh yeah, it does. It moves. I can feel it moving. Oh man. Nice solid lockup. And it's not sinking down. Last time on my other one, the lock bar would sink. This one's not sinking. It's actually sitting above the scales a little bit. So maybe they changed maybe they changed something else besides the front stop pin. Okay, let's see if it works now. That was smooth. Perfectly centered. This one might be okay, people. It just might need some rubber cement on this front pin. You know what though? Before I polish it out, I'm going to use it first. I'm going to use it for a little bit. And what I mean by use it, I want to open it and close it and see if it goes in a lock blade mode. Because the other one, when I first got it, it was working just fine at first too. And so I set them aside and I didn't use them for like a month or something like that. And I brought them back out for another video or something. And one started going in lock blade mode. When I flicked it open a little bit hard or whatever, the thing sunk down and just started going in lock blade mode all the time. This one's functioning perfect. I'm trying to open it up a little bit harder now, see if it'll go into lock blade mode. Sunk down a little bit that time. It sunk down below the G10. No lock stick though. That one's open perfectly fine. That's a hard open. I think this is a good one, people. I'm going to keep it. I'm going to keep it. Okay. So they fixed maybe one, they changed the size of something else where everything fits better. Okay. That's a good one. Yeah, that's a good one. It's going to be a keeper, people. Yeah, these are my big G10 mega folders I've purchased from Cold Steel so far. I have another one. I forgot to bring out the other one too, people. The other one is my Lynn Thompson. That one's G10 also. The tie light. The Lynn Thompson tie light. That one should be out here too. This one, as you know, is the Mayhem. I did my polishing thing on it. Didn't polish everything, just polished some parts. And I didn't really polish the blade. I just buffed it, if I remember right. I buffed it. I didn't sand it or whatever. Because it already had a nice finish. Absolutely love this one, people. This is the big Atlas lot. This is my big Atlas lot. Yeah, absolutely love it. And I don't want one that's bigger. This one's as big as I want to go. I would like to have one that's smaller. One that has like a, you know what I would really like to have? Is one that has like a mega folder. I'm talking about for mega folders, not for regular EDC knives, people. I would like to have one with like a 5.5 inch blade, 5 or 5.5 inch blade, and just be slimmer, more like the Frenzy. And so it could be lighter. You know, I want one that's lighter. Like a Frenzy, or I know they're not going to do the tie light. I think a tie light would be an awesome candidate for the Atlas lot. It'd be a definitely big upgrade over the liner lot. Even though I love mine, I just think it would be an awesome upgrade. Okay, what else we got sitting over here? Oh, what else? The star of the show for last week. Oh yeah, I went ahead and polished the whole blade, people. I polished the whole blade. I polished everything. This one's totally polished now. The only thing I didn't polish was the hardware. I didn't do the hardware. I left that alone. But the inside of these scales have been polished. The backspacer's been polished, the 6061 aluminum backspacer. The lock bar's been polished. The wave feature's been polished. And now the blade's been polished. It's just like the first polish. You know, I don't want to say this is my final polish because I'll probably polish it, 3 or 4 more times before I'm satisfied with it. But this is like the first polish, people. This is what I did this weekend, messing around with it this weekend. I'm preserving the markings. I did a light polish over the markings with a very fine high grit, like a 3000 grit, I think it was. And a worn out 3000 grit piece of sandpaper, because I didn't want to remove the markings. I just wanted to make this area match because it had a finish like this one, and so on this part on the flats it was finished like that. And I just wanted to make it match everything else. And this blade is completely polished. The blade tang and everything's all polished. I polished the blade without being connected to the knife. And I even took off the wave feature and I polished both sides of the wave feature too. So it's like all polished. But you don't want to polish this part of the wave feature, people. You don't want to polish the sides. You don't want to polish the sides or this area right in here. You don't want to polish that. The reason why is because I've done it before, and what happens, it gets too slick. It gets too slippery and too slick. And when you go to wave it out your pocket, sometimes it doesn't work because it just slides off the corner of your pocket. So you want to keep this part kind of grippy. You do not want to polish the groove, the grooves or anything like that. Just leave it just the way it is, but you can polish the flat part of it on both sides, but don't polish the sides. That's my advice, people. You can polish the sides if you want to. If you're not worried about, working right when you wave it out your pocket. But if you want to wave right out your pocket, my advice is don't do that. This knife has turned into one of my favorites, people. I absolutely love this knife. And you know what? I look back in my past, and I thought, why do I like this knife so much all of a sudden? Because I've had these for a long time. I mean, like, I don't know, 14 years? I don't know when they start making the Spadas. Because whenever they start making, that's why I got my first one. And I don't know if that was like 2010, 2012, but it might be, 12, 14 years I've been having the Spadas. I'm just now starting to really get into it. And it's this one that I like. I don't know what it is. Because I have DLC Espadas, black DLC Espadas and CTS XHP, the real nice ones, the highly sought after ones. And I don't carry those because I bought them to carry, but right after I bought them, they stopped making them. And they turned into like a big collector item. So I never used them. But this, the Oz 8 ones and the Oz 10 ones are the ones I've always used. Pretty much like all my own knives, I don't know. But like these, they didn't make them like that, though. The only way that you were able to get one of these was in the premium steel. Well, at first, these were in Oz 8, but Oz 8 used to be a premium steel, people, back when they first started making these. But these were made before the Talwars. Talwars came out like 2 years later. These were like one of the first mega folders for, Andrew Demko was making, and with the Triad lot. And this is the newest mega folder from the new Cold Steel Company, not from Andrew Demko. It's from the new Cold Steel Company. I don't know who's the designer in the new Cold Steel Company. I don't think it's Stickman or was it Jimmy Slash. I love this one too, though. I love the action on the Atlas lock, people. The action on the Atlas lock is just so smooth. It is so smooth. Super smooth. And they made this one right because they made it so it won't cut your hand. They made that right. Look all that distance I had before, it gets near my finger. And if you're used to doing these, you know how to work it. And it's super safe. If you know how to use, I'm talking about if you know how to use an Atlas lock or a Triad lock, or should I say mid lock, mid back lock or something like that. It's the same thing. That's the way I like my knives, people. I don't like knives that cut me if the blade folds. The sound of this one even sounds good. It has it sounds like a Cadillac. Like one of those big old American cars, on a big old Oldsmobile or Buick or a Mercury or something, and you slam the door and it just has that solid sound. It's like boom. These new cars are ding. It has a ting sound. It's like it sounds like one sounds like quality and one sounds cheap. This one has that Cadillac sound. I love it. See, that has more of a tingy sound. That's because the pin's loose. The pin's loose right off the bat. And so what I'll do is I'll take some rubber cement. I'll take this knife apart. I'm going to do that anyway, people. You know how I lube and tune things. But when I lube and tune it, when it's all apart, I'll put some rubber cement in the pin holes right here, and also on the pins. And when I assemble it, I'll assemble it and put it all together. I'll make sure I get all the excess off because you don't want to leave the excess on there. And that'll solve that issue. Oh, that's a nice knife. I'm glad I got one. Yeah, this looks good. The grinds on the lock bar, that's what I'm looking at, look good too. They'll polish out really nice. Oh boy, I'm gonna carry and use this one, for the next couple of weeks before I decide to polish it. I just want to make sure it's a good knife before I try to mess with it, people. I'm not even going to take it apart and mess with the pins or anything yet. I'll do that after I decide if it's a good knife or not. I'll keep you guys up on that. But so far, I think it is a good knife. The pin rattle or whatever, that's not a big deal, people. That's not a big deal. That happens to all these knives with pretty much without the steel liners or aluminum liners that have just the G10, because after a while the whole size change, it just moves a little bit. Oh man, love it. Love it. Love it. Yeah, this is smooth. I think it's a good one, people. I think this one's a good one. I think it's a good one. I don't know what they did because the front stop pin size is still the same size, so they did something different. They changed the size of something else. They made it all work. I can't wait to take it apart after I decide it's good, because I don't want to mess with the screws or anything. If I send it back, I'm going to send it back, in its original condition, people. It'll just been opened and closed a lot. That's the way I'll find out if it's a good knife or not. A good Triad lock folder can handle a lot of opening and closing. They can handle it better than any other kind of knife. Well, the Shark lock can handle a lot of opening and closing too. And so can the Atlas lock. But none of them do it better. None of them more dependable than the Triad lock, people. Triad lock is slower than a lot of these modern lock types, as far as opening and closing is concerned. But once you build up a little skill with these things, they actually get pretty easy to use. Then you'll hear other people talking about, well, I have problems opening and closing it. And you'll think, wow, they obviously never try to, put a little time and effort in to learn how to use it. Because if you do, these are awesome. This knife hasn't been oiled or anything. This is totally stock. And it's already functioning really nice. So I know once I take it apart, if I decide that, if I find out, if I decide this, it is a good knife, and I take it apart, and I polish and lube and tune and do everything I do with this knife, like I do one of these others, this knife is going to be nice. It's going to be like my original Oz 8. On this one, I don't think I would polish the blade. I think I would just polish the spine. The spine and this piece right here. I may not even polish the backspacer, people. And the reason why is because I want to put a black pocket clip on it, because I like these best with the black. The Talwar is a model that I carry a lot. And so I like them better with the black pocket clip. So when it's in my pocket, my shirt goes up or whatever, it's still not noticeable. If you have something shiny, it flashes. And when you have a big knife in your pocket, I don't want to attract anybody's attention. That's me, people. So I would prefer to have a black pocket clip on this one. This one right here, I don't carry that much. I have carried it, but it's just too heavy for me to want to carry all the time, people. I love this knife. This knife to me is like a folding hatchet. It's like, it feels like a hatchet. Like a swashbuckler's knife, like a scimitar or something like that. Like something like a pirate had selling the 7 Seas, like Sinbad, one of Sinbad's knives or something. This is an awesome knife. And it's just fun to own. I don't have to carry this. It doesn't have to be a daily user. It doesn't have to be a wood crafter. It doesn't have to be anything. I just love owning it. I love my Mayhems. I got like one of each kind that they've let out so far, and this is the one that I play around with all the time. The others are just collectors, but this one is the one that I mess around with all the time. And this knife is sweet. It is so. Oh, excuse my language. Almost messed up there. It is so sweet, people. I love it. It's just a fun knife to own. And I know, some people may want to carry these. Some people like carrying big, heavy knives. It's like I can't remember, it's like a 13 or 14 ounce knife. It's heavy. It's not a lightweight. This is a heavyweight. But it's just so cool. And the expressions on people's faces when they see this. To me, it's like a folding hatchet, though. I love it. I love it. The Talwar. The Talwar, I've always loved the Talwar because I love this handle. You got a grip back here. That's like a nice, safe, secure grip. I mean, like a really nice, safe, secure grip. You got the mid grip. So you just want to get a little bit more blade length. You got it. Or you can go forward. I love this knife. And this this high flat ground blade with the swedge in the middle, it's like a bone breaker swedge. But it's got a Persian style blade. It's 5.5 inches. CPM S35EM blade steel. It doesn't have any liners or any reinforcement for the Triad lot. It's just got thick G10 handle scales. And they feel awesome. These scales feel awesome, people. I just don't know why they put shiny pocket clips on these. I don't want to say that word. I wasn't going to say the R word. I was going to say the S word. But, I don't know why they do that. Originally, they used to always put the black pocket clips on these. That's what it should have. I think it should have blacked out hardware and a black pocket clip. That's just me, people. I want it to be, as incognito, as hidden as possible in my pocket. Because these are knives that I really like to carry. Absolutely love to carry. Let's see how much it weighs. And I've been having both of these knives, these two models of knives, I have them all the way back to the beginning of their existence. I have like every model that they pretty much ever came out with for these. Starting with this one with the Oz 8s and starting with this one with the Oz 8s. This one the Oz 8 one from this model, I still carry. Because it's my favorite Talwar. It opens so fast and so perfectly. And I don't care that I say I have CTS XJP ones and whatever, but that's the one I like because it's just so broken in and everything's polished on it. When you polish everything on these people and you actually put some of your own time and labor into it, it's like part of your soul goes into the knife. Is that a good way to say it? It's like because it takes a lot of labor to get a knife like this, especially the way I do it. Doing it by hand, and I still see little fine scratches in it, from the sanding or whatever, from the wet sanding. So I need to like do it over because I have to go back to the grit that those scratches probably came from. And I started at 400 grit. So I might, go ahead, what I do is I'll tape this all off, and then I'll get my piece of glass out, and just go, have the blade completely taken off the knife, the wave feature and everything, and I'll just redo it. Starting with the 400 grit. I'll do it a little bit lighter. Maybe I press too hard. And that's the reason why you don't want to press too hard when you wet sand people, because you don't want to get a piece of sand that gets so pushed into the steel, like cuts into it and puts a little scar in it. You don't want to do that. This one, I think it just needs a little bit more. I love it. But after the next polishing, I think it'll be really mirrored. It's almost mirrored now. To me, to be really mirrored, you can't have any scratches in it. It's got to be scratch free. I love it. Love it. And this one, I'm not going to do it. I don't want to do it on this one. I just want to polish the spine and this piece right here, the lock bar and the wave feature. That's pretty much how I did my original one. My original Talwar. The one that I still carry. I set it up the same way. And then I'll polish the inside of the liners like I did on this one. This one right here, I just really buffed it out. I just buffed it out. This is not any wet sanding or anything. This is just taking a buffer and buffing it. And this part in here, I did wet sand the lock bar and this area back in here. And I had it all apart. And I buffed it all out. And these handles have been dyed with purple, with royal purple. So you can't really, I don't know if you can see it. When the light hits it, you can see it. I don't have my flashlight out here. But when the light hits it, you can see the royal purple. Because it used to be black and gray. So all the part that's like used to be gray is now purple. Absolutely love it. All right, let's see how much this one weighs. .6 ounces. I think that's what they said. Now, my original one weighs like 8 ounces. The Oz 8 one, it weighs like 8 ounces, people. 9.2. Okay, that's what they've always weighed. They've always weighed like 9 or 9.2. That's a common weight for this one. And what about, hey, it's Fat Albert. All right. 12.9. It's actually lighter than I thought it was. I thought it was like more 13 or 14. 12.9. 12.9, people. I love that one. Oh, here's a new kid on the block. Oh, yeah. They all like to be reverse finger flick. That's one thing I like about the wave feature on these. The wave feature is like it's a really, if you like to reverse finger flick, the Demko wave feature is like an awesome setup for a reverse finger flicker like me. Absolutely love them, people. Absolutely love them. This one's gone, you won't see anything done on this one, probably not until like maybe a month from now. I'm gonna do some work on this one. If it turns out to be a good knife, I love it. I love it already, people. I love it. I love it. That's my birthday. That's my birthday one for this year. The Talwar, plain edge Talwar. All right, people. Peace out. Stiletto. Hope everybody's doing good out there.